is an honor for us to introduce and welcome the guests at our table. Ladies and gentlemen, we warmly welcome the Honorable Professor Dr. Andus Ki Haji Pardimin MPhD PhD as Director of Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa. Dr. Yuli Prihatin MPD as the first Vice Rector of Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa. Dr. Kusuma Chandra Kirana MM as the second Vice Rector of Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa. Dr. Ari Setiawan Esos EMPD as the third Vice Rector of Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa. Dr. Sylvester Godidus Sukur SSMPD as the fourth Vice Rector of Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa. Our amazing speakers, the Honorable Associate Professor Dr. Yan Yang Sang from Australian National University, Professor Dr. Maria Soledad Antonino Castro PhD from University of the Philippines, Diliman, Dr. Sylvester Godidus Sukur SSMPD from Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa. Dear ones and all invited guests, participants, and committee members. As the Master of Ceremony, my name is Tasya. Welcome to the opening ceremony of 69th anniversary of Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa. Before we begin our event today, allow me to read the agenda for today. The first, we are going to have the opening ceremony, Indonesian National Anthem and Tamansiswa Hymn, remarks, opening speech, photo session and giving tokens of appreciation, coffee break, food serving competition judging session, International Green Innovation Competition, Global Fashion Show judging session, Psycho Smart competition, and then the Partnership International Conference. The next agenda, roundtable parallel session, international best presenter, conference best participant, and then we are gonna have a break time for lunch, international community extension workshop on food processing, international community extension workshop on processing used cooking oil, benchmarking on international class, international community extension workshop on traditional games in math and science, international community extension workshop on angklung, international community extension workshop on batik, and the last but not least, international community extension workshop on gamelan. Now, I would like to invite you to stand up from the seats to sing the national anthem Indonesia Raya and the Tamansiswa hymn. For all the participants, please stand up from the seats. For the community, time is yours.
Indonesia
All the participants, please be seated. Thank you. Now, we will have some opening remarks from Ms. Ima Widyastuti, SSMA MPD TESOL, as the committee chair.
Before I give my speech, I would like to invite the participants of the food serving competition. Would you please to sit down on the round table, please? Because nobody will be there. Please move to the round table. Silakan teman-teman yang mengikuti food serving, jangan duduk di meja masing-masing, tetapi silakan langsung ke round table, please. Yuk, silakan diisi round table-nya. Food serving tidak boleh ditungguin, karena nanti ketika judges ke situ tidak boleh melihat Anda. Silakan sit on the round table. Yuk, semua teman-teman yang mengikuti food serving, silahkan pindah ke round table. Semuanya, semuanya. Yuk, yuk, semuanya. Jangan di situ, di round table-nya. Yuk pindah, silakan. Yes, nice. Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, salam dan bahagia. So sorry, I need to read the text because my team has already prepared for this. And really respectful this. Okay, the Honorable Rector of Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa Indonesia, the Vice Rectors of Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa Indonesia, Deans and Graduate Directors of Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa Indonesia, Heads of Institutes of Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa Indonesia, plenary speakers of this international conference, Associate Professor Dr. Yanjin Zhang from Australian National University. Thank you. Professor Maria Corazon Saturnina Aspeli Castro from University of the Philippines, Diliman. And then Dr. Sylvester Corridus Syukur from Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa Indonesia. Thank you, Bapak. And all committee members of this event, presenters and participants. On behalf of the committee, I'm pleased to welcome you on the first International Partnership Conference 2024 as a part of celebrating the 69th UST anniversary celebrations. We realize that the challenges arose from deficiencies within our event management organizations. We sincerely apologize and greatly appreciate your understanding for joining this first International Partnership Conference 2024. The International Partnership Conference attracts around 200 participants, not only on site, but also on Zoom. Thank you so much for joining this conference for all my friends on Zoom. And then comprising some researchers, lecturers, students, and education professionals. This first international conference brings along the flourishing international partnership, as it is the main theme, which is highly essential in the global academic landscape. It includes fostering networking opportunity, because we know that the opportunity for having the networking, not only domestic countries, university, but also overseas, is very essential for establishing the good bond between us. This international conference is linked to the online proceedings and also online journals at UST. At UST, we have more than 40 journals and also around 20 proceedings, whether this is the national and international proceedings. And we hope all the papers will be published in these two medias. On this occasion, I would like to extend my appreciation to the many colleagues to this committee who's dedicated for preparing all the event, not only this conference actually, but also some competitions, some events before the competition, before the seminars. And I would like also to send my appreciation to all the co-hosts. First, Australian National University, the University of the Philippines, the Jalan, and then Dong Nai Technology University, Vietnam, Kalayan Educational Foundation Incorporated, Philippines, Superior University, Pakistan, University of Ilorin, Nigeria, that's online, and then Sadan Chandra Mahavidyalaya, India, Universitas Muhammadiyah AR Fakhruddin, Indonesia, and then Digital Technology University of Indonesia. Last not the least, I cordially invite you and your college to participate in our second international conference on this partnership, because we believe that your presence will greatly contribute to the advance of networking, research, and publication. That's the main goal of this conference, because we cannot getting bigger if we cannot hold the collaboration among us, and of course publication is very essential. Okay. I expect that you will find the conference to be rewarding experience, and these networking best cooperations may benefit us and become a sustainable relationship. I think that's all. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam.
Please give a round of applause for the amazing speech from Ms. Ima Widyastuti SSMA MA TESOL as the committee chair. Before we move to the next agenda, I send my apologies for the mispronounced all the amazing speakers for today. Associate Professor Dr. Yan Yin Sang from the Australian National University, and Professor Dr. Maria Corazon Saturnina Castro, PhD, from University of the Philippines, Diliman. Next, we will listen to the opening remarks from the Rector of Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa University that will be represented by the Vice Rector 4 of Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa. For Dr. Randu Sylvester Goridus Syukur SSMPD, the time is yours. Okay, I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. So, the next we will listen to the opening remarks from the Rector of Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa that will be represented by the Vice Rectors 2, Dr. Yuli Prihatin. Vice Rector 1, Dr. Yuli Prihatin MPD from Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa. The time is yours.
Tes. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam dan bahagia. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi.
Bagaimana kabarnya? Okay, thank you very much. Honorable guests from Philippines, from Australia, from Vietnam, from India, from Nigeria, from University of Farudin, Indonesia, from Pakistan, Honorable Rector, University of Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa, Prof. Pardimin, Honorable Vice Rector 1, Vice Rector 2, Vice Rector 3, and Vice Rector 4, Dean, and Head of Study Program in University, Honorable all guests and all participants in this event. First of all, let us express our gratitude to the presence of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Ladies and gentlemen, University of Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa is a national campus founded by the father of national education, Ki Hajar Dewantara. UST currently has a 24 study program, and 50% of which have been accredited superior or unggul. At this time, UST has established cooperation with various universities, both domestic and foreign. The collaborative activities that UST has carried out include student exchange and international activities. We would like to thank for foreign partners who have collaborated with UST. We hope that this collaboration activity will be beneficial for both parties. This event is very important because it preserves Indonesian culture and global culture. Thank you to all participants who took part in this event with enthusiasm. Welcome to the activity with pleasure and enjoy. Saying Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I declare this event is open. Thank you very much. Salam dan bahagia.
Please give a round of applause for the amazing speech from Dr. Yuli Prihatin MPD as the Vice Rector First of Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa. Before moving on the next event, we will now have a photo session and giving tokens of appreciation to all the participants. For the committee, time is yours. For all the participants, please stand up in the front of the stage because we are going to take a photo session and giving tokens of appreciation to all the participants in the conference. I invite to all the participants in table to please stand up from the seat because we are going to have a photo session.
Yuk, boleh merapat semua ke depan. Oke, saya akan ambil beberapa kali ya. Yuk, boleh merapat lagi ke depan. Memposisikan diri, silahkan memposisikan diri. Berdiri di celah-celah. Yang merasa tinggi boleh di belakang, yang merasa lebih pendek ke depan. Oke. Oke, saya akan ambil beberapa kali ya.
Okay, the documentation will lead by me. 3, 2, 1. Once again, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Please be seated. In advance, we would like to thank all the sponsors who have supported our event today. Thanks to Bank BPD DIY, Bank BNI, Bank BSI, Trikarya Cemerlang, Kenes, Citranet, Parsley, CMAJ, Toko Pembantu, Gatsby, and Pixie. Ladies and gentlemen, next event, please enjoy a short coffee break. During this time, there will be the judging session for the food serving competition that will take place. And for all of that, attention to the all conference participants. At the judging session of the food serving competition, all participants will vote for the best 5 dishes, which will be marked by sticking 1 sticker on each table of the selected dish. So for all the conference participants, you will get 5 stickers that you choose the best 5 dishes in the food serving competition, and that it will be marked by sticking 1 sticker on each table of the selected dish. And that the committee will assist all participants during these sessions. So, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy the food serving competition.
Okay, for the food serving competitions, actually, we ask all the participants and also presenters of this conference to judge the five food that you love the most. Now, the team will provide the seminar kits to you, and then you pick the the stickers for the food selections. So please, the LO, only for the conference participants and also conference presenters. Please. And then the second announcement that I would like to ask you to set the table not in one group from one university, but we mix. We try to mix because we try to have the collaboration. So would you please, for the Kalayan, for Sefi, you mix to other friends from Indonesia. And then you may also go over there. So you need to sit down with friends from different countries. Yeah. You may also go over there, here. Pardon? Yeah. Okay, would you please do move here? Ma'am, you just move here. Okay? Okay, find Indonesian table. Okay, go there. Would you please to move here? Maybe we pick one chair. Ya. Atau Pak Driska juga kan? Okay. This is the participants, right? Yeah. Okay, right. Okay, hang on. I will take one chair for you. Yeah. Here? Oh, you have already. So please make sure your table mix between Indonesian and overseas friend. Okay, over there. Mr. Zohaib, would you please to move over there? Here will be fine. Please be seated. Okay. Mr. Chris Tanto, are you? Yeah, Mr. Chris, would you please to move here? Okay. Okay. After you receive the seminar kits, would you please to take the sticker? Food, serving, competition, sticker. And then everybody, please you go on the right side of this stage and start to stick your sticker and pick 5 snacks you love. No, you can choose. You can choose. Which one do you love? So, 5 snacks. Yeah.
Oh, yes. You can choose 5. So there is gonna be 9 food that you're gonna choose 5. Just choose 5 food. Yes, you guys to choose 5. Oh, let me help you.
This looks very colorful. This takes me out. Here. Stick one.
Maybe you can stick the sticker here. Yeah.
Really?
Please, just sticking one sticker in each food. Just one. Yes, just one sticker. So there are gonna be 5 best food, the best 5. You can take it. Yes, you can take it.
Can you taste it now?
Yes, of course. All right. So please everyone that already got the seminar kit, in the side of the bag, there are gonna be a stickers that you guys should choose 5 best dishes in the international conference. So, I'm so sorry. So this is your seminar kit. There's gonna be a sticker that you should go there to choose the food that you want. All right. If you need a help to assist you, I'm gonna assist you for that. So mungkin bisa langsung. So for all the participants, sekali lagi untuk seluruh peserta yang sudah menerima seminar kit, bisa langsung ke sebelah sana untuk mencoba makanan yang sudah disediakan. Lalu jangan lupa untuk menempelkan 1 stiker saja untuk setiap makanan. Jadi akan ada 5 makanan terbaik yang menurut audiens semua menarik atau rasanya kena di lidah. Oke, boleh di sebelah sana. Silahkan. Don't forget to bring the stickers when you guys want to go to the food serving competition. Hanya ini, ya nanti dicopot, ditempel di meja masing-masing yang menurut dan menarik makanan. No, another one. Jadi ada nanti food serving. Yes. Alright.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
So, okay, you take food there, and then after that, you choose 5 food that are the best 5 food for you, and then just sticking 1 sticker on the table that you choose.
1 sticker only.
Just one.
1 of it.
Yes, one of these. After all the presenter, all the participants here that sit in the table right now, you may taste the food, but you are not allowed to vote for the food. Jadi untuk seluruh peserta yang sekarang duduk di kursi, boleh mencoba makanan yang sudah disediakan, tetapi tidak dipersilahkan untuk memvote atau memberikan stiker pada setiap makanan yang sudah disediakan. Jadi dipersilahkan untuk mencoba makanan yang sudah berada di sana. But before that, after the presenter, sekali lagi setelah para presenternya mencoba makanannya, akan diizinkan untuk seluruh partisipan yang ada untuk mencoba makanan. For all the presenter that already choose for the 5 best dishes, you may to be seated on your seat. Once again, for all the presenter, after you finish to taste all the food and vote for the best 5 food, you may be seated on your table. one sticker for that. One more, just last one. Already taste this?
Oh no, maybe I haven't tasted.
Other size-nya tidak tutul di sini, bisa dari sana.
Untuk Bapak Ibu yang berada di depan, bisa ada di sampingnya. Ya, berarti bisa di sebelahnya. Jadi dua sisi, mejanya akan berada di tengah-tengah untuk semuanya bisa mencoba makanannya. Yes, motokebo.
Are these all made by students or professional?
No, it's all made by the students from
Okay.
Senior high school, vocational
really?
school, yes, and from our university. Yes.
Okay. It's confusing. All of them taste good.
So you just choose five.
Through these
Oh,
stickers, right?
you haven't choose one.
I have to try all. Don't put them.
Just try all of it. Oh, I'm so sorry. You can take all this.
Yeah, I will.
Supaya tidak menumpuk di satu sisi saja, sekali lagi kami ingatkan kepada seluruh partisipan supaya bisa berada di sisi sebelahnya untuk dapat mencoba makanan yang sudah disediakan. Sekali lagi untuk seluruh partisipan bisa berada di sisi sebelah untuk dapat mencoba makanan sehingga tidak menumpuk di satu sisi saja. Is there anything I can help you? No? Yes. For all the presenter, don't forget to sticking one sticker in the best food that you choose. Sirs, do you bring your sticker? No.
Even I resent my director. It's okay.
Just enjoy the food.
Yeah, my food does not influence
All right.
the decision, so don't worry about it.
Untuk partisipan yang mungkin ini ingin menikmati makanannya, bisa untuk mundur sedikit, sehingga untuk partisipan lainnya yang belum sempat mencoba makanannya, bisa mengambil bagian untuk mencoba makanan yang telah disediakan. Sekali lagi untuk seluruh partisipan yang sudah mendapatkan makanan dan ingin mencobanya, boleh untuk bergeser sedikit, sehingga partisipan yang lainnya boleh mengambil bagian untuk memakan makanan yang telah disediakan.
You want food? You want food? Yeah. How like that? Yeah, that you forgot.
Attention for all the presenter that already taste the food. You may be seated on your table. Once again, for all the presenter that already taste the food, you may allow to be seated on your table.
Sir, udah mencoba makanannya, Sir? Kan di sisi sebelahnya bisa, Sir. Bisa. Arahin yang lain tuh biar. If it's good for you, you can just kicking the sticker here.
Not in two.
It's okay if you wherever you want.
We can taste tables also.
Yes, you can try all the food and then you can choose 5 best. Sekali lagi kepada seluruh partisipan untuk bergeser sedikit sehingga partisipan yang lainnya akan mendapatkan kesempatan untuk mencoba makanan yang telah disediakan. Sekali lagi kepada seluruh partisipan untuk bergeser sedikit sehingga partisipan yang lainnya boleh menikmati makanannya. Be seated on your table. Attention to all the participants. Please have a seat because we are going to continue to the next agenda. Once again, to all the participants, please have a seat because we are going to continue our next agenda. Attention to the all contestants of global fashion show. Please be prepared yourself because we are going to begin our global fashion show. And for the presenter and for the judges of International Green Innovation Competitions, please, sometimes you are going to the tent of International Green Competition to score all the innovation there. Once again, to all the contestants of Global Fashion Show, please be prepared. And to all the presenters, there will be the International Green Innovation Competitions. So please feel free to visit the tent of International Green Innovation Competitions and give the score to all the innovation there. Once again, for the judges of International Green Innovation Competitions, the time is yours, so please go to the International Green Innovation Competition tent to having the judging session for all the innovation. Attention to the all participants, please have a seat because we are going to continue to our next agenda. Once again, to all the participants, please have a seat because we are going to move to the next agenda. Attention to all the participants, please have a seat. And if you still want to try the snacks, you can do it later in the middle of the conference. And for all the contestants of Global Fashion Show, please prepare yourself because we are going to start our Global Fashion Show. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to feast our eyes on the spectacular performance of the supermodel of Yogyakarta. But before we move on, a word of caution to all conference participants that there will be an awarding of the top 3 best models. So, in the seminar kit that you guys already have, in that bag, there is a paper and stickers. So, for all the presenters, maybe you can take the paper inside the bag. For all the presenters, please take the paper inside the bag. There is a paper and sticker for the Global Fashion Show. So, at the judging sessions of Global Fashion Show, all participants will vote for the top 3 best models, which will be marked by sticking 1 sticker on the number that are already in lids of the paper. Once again, all the participants will vote for the top 3 best models, which will be marked by sticking 1 sticker on the paper based on the number of the contestant. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Global Fashion Show on Party Attire 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lia Natalia, Universitas Sarjanawiyata, Tamansiswa. Please welcome Heri Albert Angki Wambaro, Universitas Teknologi Digital Indonesia. For all the participants, please may have a seat. Once again, to all the participants, Please have a seat. Please welcome Maria Teresia, AKS AKK Yogyakarta. Please welcome Aulia Erlin Novi Azara, SMK Teknologi Bantul. Please welcome Octavia, Universitas Sarjanawiyata, Tamansiswa. Please welcome Patricia Devi, Universitas Sarjanawiyata, Tamansiswa. Please welcome Benedictus Excel Remba, Universitas Teknologi Digital Indonesia. Please welcome Novitania Meninaola, AKS AKK Yogyakarta. welcome Kayla Diva Maharani, SMK Teknologi Bantul. Please welcome Acida Salsabila Putri, Universitas Teknologi Digital Indonesia. Please welcome Yoga Aditya, Universitas Teknologi Digital Indonesia. Please welcome Siti Nadira, Universitas Sarjanawiyata, Tamansiswa. Please welcome Sendila Zevita, Universitas Sarjanawiyata, Tamansiswa. Please welcome Mailana Ria, AKS AKK Yogyakarta. Please welcome Elizabeth Grace Rani, Universitas Sarjanawiyata, Tamansiswa. Please welcome Rovina Rera, Universitas Sarjanawiyata, Tamansiswa. Please welcome Ardiansa Restu Nur Maulana, Universitas Teknologi Digital Indonesia. Please welcome Aurelia Jessica Dagur, Universitas Teknologi Digital Indonesia. Please welcome Krisliva Darlin, Universitas Sarjanawiyata, Tamansiswa. Please welcome Ruth Ivoni Selan, Universitas Sarjanawiyata, Tamansiswa. Please welcome Selvi Priscilia, Universitas Sarjanawiyata, Tamansiswa. Please welcome Aprodita Salsa, Universitas Teknologi Digital Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to experience the beauty of fashion. With great pride, we present to all of you the contestant of the Global Fashion Show on Party Attire 2024. Please give a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you all the contestants of Global Fashion Show and Party Attire 2024. It's time for you to choose top 3 best model for all the contestants. To all the presenters, you may choose the top 3 models that you like the most. For the contestant, please give your best pose for all the presenters. Let's give another pose. 1, 2, 3. For all the presenters, it's time for you to choose the 3 best top models by sticking 1 sticker on the paper on the number of the contestant. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for all the contestants of Global Fashion Show on Party Entire 2024. Please give a round to all the contestants. Please give a round of applause for the contestant of Global Fashion Show on Party Attire 2024. What a spectacular performance from all the contestants of Global Fashion Show on Party Attire 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, the next event is Psycho Smart competition. For those who joined Psycho Smart, please join the Senate rooms on the first floor of this building. Once again, for those who joined Psycho Smart competition, please join the Senate room at the first floor of this building. Ladies and gentlemen, please have a seat. Because the awaited event has finally arrived. We are about to enter the Partnership International Conference. This conference presents 3 great speakers who will share valuable knowledge for all of us. So don't forget to prepare yourselves. With our first speakers, Associate Professor Dr. Yanin Sang from the Australian National University. Our second speaker, Professor Maria Corazon Saturnina Castro, PhD, from University of the Philippines, Diliman. Our third speaker, Dr. Sylvester Goridus Syukur, from Sarjanawiyata, Tamansiswa, University, Indonesia. This Partnership International Conference will be led by Miss Ima Widyastuti. So, for Miss Ima Widyastuti, as the moderator of Partnership International Conference, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Because this is a semi-formal of the conference, so that it will be easier for you to move one table to another. So would you please, Dr. Janjin, would you please to go on stage? And then Professor Maria, would you please, yes, would you please to go on stage? Yes, absolutely. And then again, I wish that one table can consist not only Indonesian, but also from participants from other countries. Thank you. Just waiting. Okay. Okay, for the committee, would you please to, pardon? Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, while waiting for the, okay, while waiting, Dr. Janjit, I would like to greet everybody again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, good morning everybody. Selamat pagi, salam dan bahagia. Yeah. Okay, all right. Okay, again, this is for greeting that today we will have a semi-formal of the conference, so that again, this is a part of the networking, and we wish that you can collaborate and having a new networking with other persons or other people from other countries. Okay, Pak Sil, would you please to go on stage? Yeah, yes. Thank you, Pak. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ima Widyastuti, as the moderator of these parallel sessions. Today, our parallel session is about flourishing the global partnership. And before we start, I would like to let you know that the presentation will be divided into two sub-sessions. So the first is the presentation itself from the all participants here, and then the second we have the question answer. So for the first, I would like to invite Dr. Yanjin, and then second I will invite Professor Maria, and last for the Dr. Sylvester. However, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, you can note your questions. And friends from Zoom, you can also log your question on the chat box. Okay, now let's start. I would like to invite first Dr. Jansin Zhang from Australian National University. But before she delivered her materials and also having discussion with you all, I would like to read a little bit about her. She is the associate professor and now working at the School of Culture, History and Language College of Asia and the Pacific, the Australian National University from 2012 up to now. But previously, she was the senior lecturer of MA TESOL or Applied Linguistics at University of Canberra, Australia. Besides teaching, everybody, she is also an editor of J.D. Francie at Center of Chinese Studies, University of Hawaii in 2001 to up to 2010. Her educational backgrounds were studied from Beijing Foreign Studies University in 1978. Before I was born. Yeah, sorry. Then her Master of Arts was achieved at Cornell University America and University of Hawaii. 2 master's degrees, is it? 2 master degrees. Nice. Okay. She is now still active in writing articles published on journals, books, and proceedings. I would like also to announce you that she is one of the editors at Teachers Journals at UST. And Teachers Journals now is accredited Sinta 3. So everybody, when you send your paper to this conference, actually we will select that. If your paper is good, we will produce that. We will publish that on Sinta 3 National Accredited in Indonesia. Okay, thank you. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite Dr. Jianjin Zhang to go on stage to deliver your presentations, and she will elaborate about foreign language education in tertiary level, nature, goal, and practice. Okay, Dr. Jianjin Zhang, now time is yours. You may go on stage, or on the podium, or here, that's up to you.
Okay, I'll sit here.
Oh, you will
Yeah.
sit. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay.
Alexa.
Okay, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Ima. Is the microphone okay? Yeah, thank you, Ima. Selamat pagi. Hope my pronunciation is okay.
Yes, selamat
Not too
pagi.
bad, not too bad. Okay, the Honorable Rector and Honorable Vice Rector 1, 2, 3, 4. The Honorable Deans of 5 faculties and the graduate school and Director of Research. Okay. Thank you for inviting me here. And of course, I forgot the ladies and gentlemen and all the participants here. I'm very happy to be here. This is my first time visiting Indonesia, and the experience so far was really, really great, and I really appreciate this opportunity. Today, I'm going to talk about some reflections that I had on foreign language education at tertiary level, not at the primary school or secondary school level, but at tertiary level. What is it? What is the nature of foreign language education at tertiary level? Let me ask you a question first. The next slide, please. Yeah. So, teaching a foreign language in the universities, is it a kind of education or is it a form of training? You might say, oh, what's the difference? You know, it's more or less the same thing, right? In both cases, teachers teach and the students learn, and why be so fussy about it? In fact, there is a difference if you think about it. Penny make this difference very, very clear. She was saying that training mainly refers to skill training, such as you learn or you're trained to be an electrician, to be a hairdresser, to be a chef, etc. Whereas education is different. Education is more like training in a special sense, producing a whole person, a person that possesses critical thinking, a person who can judge right and wrong in the deeper sense of the concept, and a person who is able to stand in the other person's point of view, understand the other person's point of view and is ready to change one's opinion, etc., etc., etc. So the next, please. So I would argue that education is language education in the university should not be confined to training students how to speak English, how to read English, how to, all these functional skills, but also learn more than that. That is the liberal arts, the goals of liberal arts. So what are the goals of liberal arts? I've listed a few. They are not by no means exhaustive. For example, critical thinking, analytical skills, learning how to learn, and empathizing, recognizing one's own assumptions, and participation in and enjoy cultural experiences. It is easy said than done. So rather than talking about these goals in abstract manner, let me show you one practice, one concrete practice at the in the Chinese language class at the Australian National University. Okay, next one. Right. So this is a particular class in the third year Chinese where students were able to speak pretty good in Chinese, and the class is carried out or delivered in Chinese entirely or almost entirely. So in that particular week, the topic for the class is single child policy. I'm sure you're all familiar with this policy, this Chinese policy, which is no longer around. In this curriculum, there are 2 lectures where everybody was together to receive some information, and then 2 tutorials where students are divided into small classes and practice, okay? Next, please. So how do we deliver this particular class on single child policy, incorporating the liberal arts education ideas? Next one, please. Next slide. Yeah, that's the one. First, we invited a Chinese single child student to the class to talk to students about her experience as a single child growing up in China. And then there is a very short lecture, about 10 minutes. And after that, there will be tutorials. There are tutorials where students carry out a debate. And after that, there's a project. Okay, the project is divided into 3 steps: interview, and oral presentation, and a written essay. Okay, next. So we invited a Chinese student who happened to be a single child and asked her to talk about her experience as she grew up as the only child in the family. And her talk actually gave students a new insight, not only information, but a new insight about what a single child is experienced, which is very different from what the textbook was telling them or what the media was telling them. And after that, there was a lot of questions and answers, and the student basically was saying she was happy as a single child growing up in China. She's not the traditional or the kind of the princess as assumed in a lot of Western media. Okay, next one. And no, that's not the. Okay, the first step is question and answer. I asked students what they knew about single child policy. They knew a lot, and they didn't know a lot. Okay, they knew there was a single child policy, but they didn't know anything about its background, its history, its wider context. So next, this single child talking about her life experience. After that, there was a short lecture. The lecture presents a wider context, like how the policy came about, what happened, why was there this policy. So students get to learn the historical background and also political debates around the time when the policy was produced. Next one. In the tutorials, in order to consolidate students' learning and also to get them to reflect and to think, to do research, there is a debate. Students are divided into two groups, and the topic was the single child is good. Do you agree or don't you agree? You have to take a position. You don't have to take the position that you really believe in. You can take any position, even if you don't believe in that. This is an exercise to not only make you think from a different, even the opposite point of view, but also to practice your language expressions, ability to talk, ability to express your ideas. And yeah, students did a lot of research. They came up with all kinds of reasons why a single child policy is good, and the other side would say, why is it not good? Okay, next one. After that, I asked the students to do a project. First step, go out and interview a Chinese student. There's no point for them to stay in the classroom listening to the teachers only. They should actually get into direct contact with the target language speakers. And there are lots of Chinese international students on campus. So, and most of them are single child. So they had to go out and approach a student and interview them about their life experience. Even though they're all single child, they have different growing up experience. After that, next one, please. After that, students need to present their findings orally in class and answer questions that other students have. And after that, they have to write an essay. The essay consists of two parts. One is pure description of their interview content, and the other one is reflection about what they have learned from this project. Okay? And of course, they had to record their interview. The interview had to be carried out in Chinese. They had to record it and upload it, and then we'll check that the interview was indeed carried out successfully. Okay, next one. Next, please. Next, please. Next slide. Here's the learning outcome. I don't think I will go through that. As you can see, they are all written as a second part of the essay. Their reflection, as you can see, many of them have changed their opinions, changed their ideas, and a lot of them would cite official or authoritative sayings about about what had happened after the single child policy was being implemented. So they did quite a lot of research on their own. That was before the chat GPT came out. There was no, I don't believe there's a lot of copying or the IT generated stuff. Okay, next one, please. Yeah, this is also another learning outcome. Next one. Next. Okay, let's skip this one. Also learning outcome. Next one. Okay. Now, if we look at the class as it was delivered and measure that against these liberal arts criteria, we can see that students did develop quite a few skills as listed here. And this particular session, at least, I think has met the goals, or at least most of the goals of the liberal arts education concepts. Next, please. In order to, deliver liberal arts education concepts or ideas in the classroom, there are a few requirements. Next slide, please. Next slides, please. Yeah, we have to, adhere to these kind of requirements. The class must be interactive, and students must experience firsthand what they're learning. Like in this case, interact directly with Chinese single-child students, okay? And the tasks we plan must be authentic and meaningful. Sometimes the tasks are interesting and fun, but they are not authentic, and they're meaningless, really. And finally, it has to be intellectually robust. If language training, if language learning or language education is a kind of training, I think it's better to do it in schools or in vocational schools rather than in the universities, because it will be a very expensive education delivery at the university. Training schools can do that very well, or vocational schools. So if language education or foreign language education is part of the university curriculum, then we have to think beyond the training. We have to incorporate some of the, or if not totally, some of the intellectual content into the language courses. This is not to say that we ignore or disregard the skill training aspect. It's a way, we have to think about a way to incorporate both into a language education, foreign language education at the tertiary level, okay? Right, I think that's all I have to say today. Next, I think, yeah. Okay, I like this quote very much. It was an old quote, old say from the 60s. That bishop in the 60s said that we really should promote intellectual development as well as foreign language competency at the tertiary to the learners, so that they do not learn to close their cultural offensiveness in the best local diction. That is, they do not learn the foreign language in order to be offensive to the target language, culture, and the people. Yeah, okay, I'll finish here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Yan Jinjiang, for the interesting presentations. Okay. Well, now let's move to the second speaker, Professor Maria Corazon Saturnina Castro from University of the Philippines, Diliman. Before that, I would like to, yes, do you choose the podium? Okay, I will read a little bit about your biography first. Professor Maria Corazon Saturnina Castro is the Associate Dean for the Academic Affairs in 2021 up to 2024 at the University of the Philippines, Diliman. She got her bachelor, master, and PhD degrees from the University of the Philippines. She got her postgraduate certificate in teaching English as a foreign language, University of Essex, UK. She has also published various publications or journals and proceedings. Today, Professor Maria Corazon Saturnina Castro is going to talk about mitigating the past-threatening effects on oral corrections feedback. Well, Professor Maria Corazon, Now time is yours. You want to use the podium?
All right. Can you hear me? Those at the back, can you hear me? All right. Are you still awake? Okay, I'd like to invite all the students to come forward and the teachers who are there at the back to come forward as well, because this paper is all about you, students and teachers. Okay, those of you who, who are there on the side, maybe you can occupy the seats of vacant seats over there. Okay, first of all, I would like to congratulate Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa on its 69th anniversary. And I would like to thank the rector and the organizing committee for inviting me to this first partnership conference. I was here in 2019 for the first Inco test, and I'm so happy to be back. And I must say, Senang sekali bisa kembali ke Yogyakarta. Thank you. Saya senang melihat wajah-wajah yang familiar. And with this said, I'd like to start my presentation. First of all, I'd like to ask the teachers here, how do you correct errors of students during class discussion? Do you say, you are wrong? Or do you use other strategies? Maybe ask Hazel and et al. Anybody from the Kalayan? Jerick. Just shout it out.
Ma'am, on a personal level, in my practice in the classroom, usually I use the sandwich method. Sandwich method is some sort of a strategy in giving feedback where you make it positive, negative, positive. Like a sandwich, you have there the bread, the ham and cheese, and the bread. So it's positive, negative, and positive. So you're going to introduce your feedback the way the students would be motivated to do more and be better. And the negative ones, because as much as we wanted to take away the negatives, they also have to realize that these mistakes could be opportunities for improvement.
Right.
And at the same time, you end the feedback by giving them more encouraging and positive remarks. Like you can do better, and okay, probably you might say there is always room for improvement, but it's definitely a good start. So things like those, sandwich technique and
So that's
humanistic.
the sandwich method.
Yes, ma'am.
Positive, you start with the positive, then you come up with your criticism or your negative comments, and then you end with something positive.
Yes, ma'am. And probably it's not always what you say, but also the manner of how you say it that matters more. So we have to be
Particularly
careful
the
as
tone.
well. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
you so
you.
much
Terima kasih.
for your contribution to my presentation, Jerry. What about the students out there? How do you feel when teachers correct your errors? Do you feel embarrassed? Do you feel shy? Do you fear speaking because you've been corrected? Yes. All right. Okay, now this paper actually deals with mitigating, meaning reducing the face-threatening effect of corrective feedback in the classroom. Okay, let me start by saying that feedback is defined as an information provided by an agent regarding one's performance or understanding. And actually, in the classroom, it is usually the teachers who provide the feedback. Am I right? Yes, the teacher is the one moderating, facilitating classroom discussions, and therefore the teacher is the one usually giving feedbacks. Okay, next slide, please. Feedback may be positive or negative. When you say positive feedback, it is a teacher's delivery of approval or praise for delivered behavior or response to questions. So, for example, the teachers would say, "Good," or "You are correct." Okay? It can be verbal or non-verbal. The first example, that would be verbal. For non-verbal, you may smile, the teacher may smile, or nod her head. Okay, now positive feedback can indicate that an expected or desired behavior was demonstrated and that it can reinforce successive steps toward achieving other goals. If there is a positive feedback, there is also, if there's positive, there is, hello people, I thought you're awake, come on. If there is positive, there is also negative. Fantastic. Okay, now, negative feedback is also called corrective feedback. Now, there have been issues regarding negative feedback or corrective feedback. By the way, let's define what negative feedback is. Okay, negative feedback, as defined by Ellis, is that which signals that to the learners that their answers are problematic or lack veracity or are linguistically deviant. Now, there have been issues regarding corrective feedback. First would be the efficacy. Is corrective feedback effective? Actually, the studies show that corrective feedback resulted in improved performance among the students. So that issue has been settled. It is effective. Number two, what errors do teachers correct? Do you correct local errors? What do you mean by local errors? Like, for example, errors in preposition, they're local errors. Or global errors, those errors that actually hinder comprehension of a particular paragraph. Number three, when do you correct? Do you correct often? Do you correct after class? Do you correct during the recitation? But perhaps the most controversial issue has to do with the psychological impact of corrective feedback. Oral corrective feedback can be considered an inherently face-threatening act in adult classrooms. Actually, all of us, we have two faces. Mukha. Mukha. Do you say mukha in Indonesian? We have dua, mukha. We have the positive face. This is the one that we show our teachers. We put our best foot forward. That's the positive face. And then the negative face, that which does not want some imposition. Okay? Now, when you are corrected in class, if students are corrected in class, the positive face is threatened. And this is so common inside the classroom. Okay, let's have the next slide, please. Next slide, next. Okay, what is my research about? My research actually examined different kinds of oral corrective feedback provided by teachers and analyzed the strategies that teachers use to mitigate the face-threatening effect of OCF. It seeks to answer the major problem: how do we, teachers, reduce or mitigate the face-threatening effects of oral corrective feedback. And this major query is broken down to the following sub-problems. What types of corrective feedback were provided by the teachers? What linguistic and pragmatic mitigating devices were utilized by the teachers in providing oral corrective feedback? Now, let's move on to the methodology of my paper. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay. Next, please. All right. This study actually examined 108 exchanges between students and teachers. And these recordings were actually from 3 classes, 1 undergrad, 1 class in law, and the other an MA class. The recordings were transcribed using intelligent verbatim transcription and were analyzed using the frameworks of Leicester, Rigel, and Ellis. Okay, let's talk about the framework of my paper. Are you still with me? Okay, thank you. Let's talk about the framework of my paper. Next slide, please. Hello? Hello? Although, okay, let's talk about the framework. Next, please. Next slide. All right. Okay, so as I mentioned, the analysis of my paper took off from different frameworks. The first, from Rigel, who talks about positive feedback strategies. And for this category, Rigel said that teachers provide the following kinds of positive feedback strategies. 1, paralinguistic strategy. When you use nonverbal, like you smile or you nod, that's paralinguistic. The teacher can also use linguistic strategies. When you say, okay, or the teachers can actually use praise markers. So the teachers can say, oh, your answer is fantastic. Oh, your answer is excellent. That's positive feedback. Okay, other frameworks were from, next slide please. Okay, this is from Leicester and Ranta. So the 2 researchers classified feedback as follows. Feedback strategies as follows. Number 1, recasting. Recasting means that the teachers reformulate the sentence of the students without necessarily changing the meaning. Explicit correction. No? Explicit means you categorically correct the students. So you say, oh, that's not a right answer, and then you provide the right answer. Elicitation. You ask questions to direct the students to the right answer. You also have clarification requests, repetition, and so on and so forth. Okay, let me just move forward because I'm afraid you might fall asleep on me. So let's move forward. Ellis, this is the popular Rod Ellis, categorized feedback as being explicit or implicit. Now later on, I wish I would have time to expound on these 2. Okay, now let's go to the results of my study. Next slide, please. Okay, next, please. All right, the next slides will be tables. These are numerical data, but let me explain the qualitative data in a few minutes. So for positive feedback, this is the one that students would really like to hear from their teachers. Praise markers would be 38%. Linguistic markers, 19%. And paralinguistic strategy like nodding or smiling, that would only be 3%. Now, for the negative feedback or the corrective feedback, for the implicit, clarification would be 22%, repetition 9%, and recast 4%. Okay, I'm moving on to table 3 now, please. It's table 1. I'm done with table 1. Table 2, please. Table 3. Looks like our technician is also sleeping. Table 3. Come on, table 3. I'm now on table 3. Next slide, please. All right. For the negative feedback, explicit correction is 27%, and elicitation is 36%. Okay, the results of the study show that explicit negative feedback or corrective feedback outnumbered positive or implicit feedback strategies. Now, Ellis stated that implicit feedback, actually Ellis and Ferris stated that implicit feedback is the one that students prefer because there's no indication that an error has been committed. And I think this has to do with Krashen's effective filter, as what Jerick mentioned earlier. If the effective filter is high, the students are not embarrassed, the students are not insulted, then the motivation is also high, and they participate actively in classroom discussions. Okay, now let me just run through some examples that I found in my data. Next slide, please. Next, please. Okay, all right. So this has to do with implicit feedback strategy. This is a request for clarification. The student says, "Ma'am, I'm going to record people in the cafe." And the teacher says, "If you're going to record, do you mean you're going to focus on the oral proficiency in English?" And the student says, "Yes, ma'am." "Okay, you are going to record conversations among people in the cafe." "Yes, ma'am, conversations." Actually, the student's answer is not totally incorrect, but rather ambiguous and not specific, vague and ambiguous. And the teacher's request for more information via clarification questions actually made the student's answer more concrete and specific. All right, let's move on to the next slide, please. Okay, this is an interaction in a law class, LAW. The student says, the teacher says, "Rule 45 on what?" And the student goes, "Pure questions on law." Pure questions on law, meaning the teacher is actually repeating the incorrect answer. However, like what Jerick said, I will always go back to Jerick's explanation earlier, the negative or the implicit negative correction is followed up by some kind of contextualization. And this contextualization would provide hints or suggestions as to how the student would be able to correct her answer. All right. What is the contextualization there? After repeating the incorrect answer, the teacher goes, "Facts are no longer needed." So that's already a hint as to the direction of the correct answer. Okay, let's move on to recast. Next slide, please. Okay, this is a rather long passage, but if you notice, the student's answer has been italicized. There is a lot of grammar errors and errors in style. what the teacher did was to recast so that you find improvement in style and in grammar. Okay, let's move on to elicitation. The results of the study, my study, employed more explicit negative corrective feedback strategies. Ellis noted that generally, explicit corrective feedback has more advantages in the process of learning. Despite this, it causes anxiety, resentment, and low self-efficacy among students. I think we all agree that being corrected would result to some level of embarrassment if we're students. Therefore, teachers have to be careful in providing corrective feedback. In this study, explicit corrective feedback comprised 64% of the exchanges, relatively high. What is noticeable, however, is that linguistic markers associated with positive feedback are affixed or attached to the negative feedback. In addition, the teachers also use contextualization and added information to help the students. This is what Jerick was telling us earlier. You start with something positive, then you give your corrective feedback, and then you end with something positive. In this way, the student would not lose his or her positive phase. All right. The slide shows elicitation. And this is direct. This is really corrective, explicit corrective feedback. The student goes, I will record class discussions between teachers and the students. Teacher goes, okay, that's a positive strategy. If you happen to record a lot of instances of code switching, would you automatically say it is the effect of code switching? That part tells a student that the answer is erroneous. And luckily, fortunately, the student realized the error and goes, oh. Okay? So what happens there is that the positive strategy is attached or affixed to the corrective feedback. All right, next slide, please. Next slide, please. No, the one before that. The one before that, please. Okay, this is explicit correction where the teacher categorically said no. And then the next answer is still a wrong answer. But instead of saying no again, the teacher actually contextualizes the issue and raises a series of questions, leading the student to the correct answer. Sometimes teachers would use, next slide please, larger structures, as this one. Upon sensing that the student is hesitating, the teacher goes, I'll buy you time to clarify, or remove fog over facts. So the teacher didn't say immediately you're wrong, but okay, if you're hesitating, I'm going to give you time to think, to process. Okay? Okay, sometimes, next slide please, polite strategies, positive polite strategies are used. For example, when a student's answer is wrong, the teacher would say, oh, you have a good point there. Oh, you raised an important issue. Thank you for raising that. But let's go back to the previous question. Huh? So you raise the affective filter before you say you have to improve your answer. In conclusion, give me 2 minutes for the conclusion. Okay, let's have the conclusion now, please. Hello. Okay, the results of the study indicated the teacher's sensitivity to the emotional, psychological impact of oral corrective feedback on students and utilized various strategies to mitigate or to reduce what would otherwise be embarrassing or offensive statements of correction. The data indicated that the teachers employed implicit corrective feedback similar to off-record politeness strategy, attach positive markers to corrective feedback, and utilize larger structures to express positive politeness. Now the prevalence, those Filipinos with me, I hope that my observation will jive with yours. Actually, this is from Hokano. The prevalence of implicitness and the mitigation of explicit correction reflects the Filipinos' dislike for directness. And I think this is also shared by the Indonesians. Am I right? Indonesians also dislike directness because Filipinos, this is part of our communication style. According to one anthropologist, the Filipino communication style involves a lot of hints, a lot of suggestions, and it is considered good behavior to minimize directness. I say this is an Asian culture because even the Japanese do not like directness. The Malaysians and the Thais also do not like directness. Oh, thank you so much. You're agreeing with my observation. In hindsight, providing oral corrective feedback can be seen not only in terms of the pedagogical and psychological domain, but also in terms of the cultural context of the participants. It is this point that might be considered in doing the study in a different cultural setting. This implies that you may replicate the study in your own cultural setting. It would be, I think, it would be a productive endeavor if researchers from the partner institutions like ANU, like our friend from Pakistan, our friend from Thailand, Vietnam, would replicate the study in their own context, in their own cultural context. These studies would further provide generalizability to the observed mitigating or mitigation of face-threatening effects of corrective feedback in the classroom. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I hope that you learned a little from the presentation. Thank you. Thank you, Ima.
Thank you, Professor Maria, for the insight presentations, and that's very nice. Okay, thank you. Now, well, everybody, we would like to invite the last speaker, Dr. Sylvester Syukur from Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa, Indonesia. Okay. Wait, sorry, Bapak. Okay, even though I know you because you are my boss, but I need to read your CV, okay? The short CV. Okay, Mr. Sylvester Syukur, before working as the lecturer at Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa, is a former national director of LT Kompas Gramedia, one of the biggest companies in Indonesia. He began working for UST in 2019. His works are mostly English book, for which he spent the last 25 years of his life for book writing. Now he is the vice rector on partnership Affairs at UST. Well, Dr. Sylvester Kuridusukurs, time is yours. Do you want to sit or on the podium? Okay, time is yours.
Good morning. Are you still with me? Slide-nya? Yeah, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for still being here up to this moment. Today's topic from me is the international partnership of Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa. In this case, it's best practice. So I'll be presenting the best practice that UST has been doing so far. Okay, let me read this introduction first, a very brief moment. Yeah. In this interconnected world, yeah, partnership is unavoidable. It's very important. Yeah, we cannot live alone. We need to work together with our partners across the globe. And because we are working for universities, yeah, like it or not, we have to work with others, with other universities, and also not only the universities, but also with the industries, because students or even we as the lecturers cannot only teach, cannot only live in our its campus, but we need to bring our students to outside the campus world. So today is the moment for us to share ideas how we have been doing so far for the cooperation or the partnership. Next. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, sebelumnya, slide sebelumnya. Could you please go back? Yeah. Okay, let me highlight our vision, yeah, UST's vision in the context of international partnership. This is the reason why we do hope that our university has a wide range as possible partnership with other universities. Yeah. Our vision is to become a superior and character-driven university in Southeast Asia that enables and enlightens the nation's life based on Tamansiswa teachings. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to underline the Tamansiswa teachings here. One of the main points that we always do at Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa or UST is implementing the Tamansiswa teachings, because the founder of this university is our national education father, Ki Hajar Dewantara, and there are a lot of teachings, especially in education and also in human being character development. Right, next. So, you see here, the vision is expected to cover the 4 pillars or 4 principles of higher education in Indonesia: education, research, community service, and preservation and development of national culture. This must be included in the vision, and of course in the collaboration. But it doesn't mean that, say, for example, UST wants to have a kind of partnership with other universities in the world. The cooperation must include this. No. Maybe some universities or a university only focuses on one of the pillars, on one of the principles. That's okay. Let's say that, okay, UST and JV, for example, or EAC, or some other universities only focus on the education. That's fine, no problem. As long as we can implement the partnership, that's okay. Yeah. But if we can do we can implement the four principles in the partnership. That will be great. Next. Okay. So what's the key to successfully being a leading university in Southeast Asia by 2025? Yeah. Building partnership. Okay, sebelumnya Mas. Yeah. Building partnership not only with the universities across Indonesia, but also with the international universities in Southeast Asia in particular and around the globe in general. Well, you know why I put the Southeast Asia there, because that is in line with our vision to be a leading university in Southeast Asia in 2025. But it doesn't mean that we cannot work together, we cannot collaborate with other universities outside East Asia. As long as it is positive for both parties, why not? Okay, next. The question is, what has UST been doing to achieve the vision? Next. Yeah. Okay. The key word there is building a harmonious partnership. Yeah. How we harmoniously work together with other universities in Southeast Asia and also in other countries around the world. Yeah. Next. Yeah. These are some universities. Sorry, I only listed some. Yeah. That UST has been working together so far. We have there University Teknologi Mara, UITM, UTES in Vietnam, yeah, TRU, and so on. Yeah. Next. Yeah. Let's have a look at the best practice that UST has been experiencing so far. Next. Have a look at the initiative first. Yeah. Number one is the initiative can be from UST's partners. In this case, it can be the lecturers of our partner universities. For example, maybe some lecturers from the Philippines meet the lecturers of UST and in an international event like this, and then they have a kind of chat. And then after that, okay, how about if we do research together? Or I go to university, or you come to my university, and let's exchange the lecturer or even our students. That's if the initiative is from the lecturers. Yeah. It can also be from the partnership PIC of the future partner. Yeah. Let's say I go to Thailand or to the Philippines, and on the partnership of the university there, yeah, contact us or we contact them, and then we plan to have a kind of collaboration. Okay. Or if the personnel, I mean the lecturers, yeah, after they do the implementation or after they implement the collaboration, they can report to the university, and then we can prepare the documents, the legal documents, like MOU or MOA, and so on. And then from UST, the same. Yeah. Okay. Next. Yeah. This one is related to the initial individual contact. Yeah. I already told you that when our lecturers attend some seminars, conferences, workshops, or community gatherings. Yeah, they can meet other people from universities in the international event, and then they start talking about partnership, and then after that, maybe the next action or the next implementation is a kind of P2P, I mean person to person, yeah, implementation. Yeah, like let's say, for example, Ibu Ima here, yeah, once she had collaboration with someone from JV with Mark, yeah, Mark Gabriel, and also Ibu Vita if she's here. And then after that, they contacted us here personally, me, because I'm in charge of the partnership to follow up. Okay, I have conducted the research with a lecturer from SEFI, but now Mark is not at SEFI anymore, but already moved to EAC, yeah, Bu Maya. Okay, so that's the one of the example, person to person. The people who have met implement the collaboration, and then if the institutions want to follow up their activities, we can prepare and sign the MOU. Yeah. Okay, next. Yeah. The partnership PIC contact, yeah, it can be through WhatsApp or email, yeah, to International Bureau of UST. Here we call it BKUI, yeah, Biro Urusan Internasional. It's international affair for partnership. Yeah. Okay, here once we got the text or the email from our future partner, we directly and quickly follow up by holding a preliminary meeting with the future partners to talk about related documents and possible activities that we might follow up. Okay. When everything is ready, okay, we can follow up the program. And in this case, let's say that we have signed the documents. The party that follows up the agreement is the study program here or the faculty. It can be the lecturer or the professor from our partner comes to UST and then gives a class here, like some of you might have done here, yeah. And then you also have a kind of discussion with some faculty members, or even you join the events run by the faculties. Okay, next. Mbak Ima, berapa menit lagi? Okay, right. When after we implement the partnership, there is always monitoring and evaluation. This is very important because we need to see how well we have implemented the partnership, and it is a must. Usually, UST sends the document to the partners, to our partners, to evaluate the program. And then here in Indonesia, all universities must write the report about the implementation of the partnership, and with the signature of our partner. So when someday UST asks you to sign our report, could you please sign? Yeah, because it is important for us, and it is a kind of our responsibility in running this university here in our country. Next. Okay. Partner types here, yeah. It can be in the form of non-academic and academic. Next. Next. Yeah. Here, the academic cooperation can be including education, research, community service, preservation and development of national culture, Indonesian culture in this case, internal quality assurance and internship program, lecturer and student exchange, senior lecturer assignment to other universities. Let's say that your university needs a lecturer from UST, and then we can UST, yeah, can send the lecturer to your university. Vice versa, if we need a professor from our partner, okay, we'll send the letter, the invitation letter, to ask for a professor from university to teach here. Yeah, that's why number 6 is a visiting lecturer. Okay. Next, shared utilization of resources, periodic publication of scientific works, and organization of workshops, seminars, conferences, training, symposium. Next. Yeah. The non-academic cooperation can be asset utilization, yeah, fundraising, service and intellectual property rights. Yeah. These are the non-academic types of implementing programs implementation. Next. The research cooperation, it can be in the form of research collaboration with the same field of study to support the priority or excellence areas of UST and UST partners. It is important to highlight here that here in Indonesia, if we do a research, it must be in line with our educational background or the field we are working for. For example, me, I'm in English education. I can do research which is not related to my educational background or not related to my field, but it has no impact on my career here. Yeah. For me, well, if it is not really, impactful, yeah, maybe the next choice. So here, if it is possible, the cooperation must be in line with someone's field here. Economics, okay, work together with those who are from economic field, yeah, or language, yeah, to language. Yeah. Well, it is possible for multidiscipline research. That's okay, but rule is rule, research is research. Okay, right. Next, community service cooperation, yeah, to increase regional potential, providing training, improving human resources, and so on. Yeah. Next. For preservation and development of national culture, UST preserves and develops the national culture in accordance with the Tamansiswa teachings to move towards the progress of manners that can strengthen the unity and integrity of Indonesia. Yeah. In preserving and developing national culture, UST uses the three-cone here, the three-cone theory. This theory was developed by Ki Hajar Dewantara, yeah, our founder, yeah, the founder of this university. Three means three, yeah. Con here, yeah, because it should be in Indonesian. Continue, convergent, concentric. Should be with K, but this one is in English version, that's why it is with C, yeah. Okay. Should be, if the three cone is translated into English, should be with three cone, but it is not cone anymore, but cone. Yeah. Okay, so the three cone here means continuous, convergent, and concentric. Next. Yeah, continuous. Yeah. In preserving the Indonesian culture, we must be continuous and sustainable. Culture must be developed in accordance with the development of times. So every era, every period of Indonesian people's life, yeah, has different and distinctive feature. Yeah, so the development must be like that. Let's see, for the time being, long time ago, when I was still young, I'm still young now because I have no hair, yeah. When someone has no hair, it means that he's still a baby, yeah? A baby has no hair, right? Yeah, so I'm still a baby. At the time, uh, our main need, necessity in life was food, yeah? But today, I have two kids. Food is not their priority anymore. What they need is AI, internet. Why AI? Because they don't have to ask their lecturers anymore if they have difficulties in their study. They cannot eat, no problem. But without the internet, life is hopeless for them. For them, if they cannot contact their boyfriends, their girlfriends, life is already over. But at that time, yeah, no WhatsApp, no internet, no problem. We can still meet our beloved. So we keep developing our culture based on its era. Next, yeah, convergence. In an effort to develop Indonesian national culture, we combine it with foreign cultures considered to be able to advance the Indonesian nation. It doesn't mean here that we only concentrate on our own culture. No, we cannot live together. Yeah. For example, Indonesia belongs to Eastern culture, and then we still consider that Western culture is important for us. Yeah. So we combine that, and this idea was developed very long time ago, 69 years ago by Ki Hajar. Next, concentric. Yeah. In our interactions with other nations in the world, we must try to unite our national culture with the world culture, yeah, the global culture. Yeah, it can, like English now. It used to be only British English and American English. Now we have global English. In it, we have Indonesian English. Even here in Indonesia, we have Javanese English, Flores English, yeah, Balinese English. Why? Because speak English according to their own dialect. Yeah. So it's already global English. Next. Yeah, these are some examples of our partners who have been to UST. Yeah, whenever you come to UST, we always pick you up, pick our partners up at the international airport. Yeah, around 2 hours by car from here. So 2 and 4, 4 hours. Yeah, but it doesn't matter as long as we can serve you. You come here, yeah, we are ready. We are here to serve our guests, to serve our partners. Next, these only examples, yeah. Next, Mas. Okay. These are from SEFI, yeah. SEFI delegates, when they came here last year, yeah, they learned how to paint the batik here, yeah. Even I myself cannot do that, but they can do it, yeah. Because why? They want to learn. Next. Yeah, next. Okay, benchmarking next. Okay, some examples only. Next. This is with our partner from UTech, yeah, Vietnam. Next. Nguyen, is it far from your university, UTech? No. Okay. Someday I'll be there to your university, Pak Nguyen. Yeah. Yeah, these are the students from TRU. Several months ago, they came here and spending the time here for about 1 month. And then they went back to their university, continue their life there in Thailand. Next. Okay. Yeah, next. Okay. These are, the latest one. Yeah, the latest one. We have here EAC, TRU, the NTU. Dr. Nguyen, yours is already there, yeah? You are also there, yeah? Next. Okay, some stories, yeah? Next. Next, yeah, next. Okay, CMU, yeah, okay. Next. Okay, these are some examples of the international professorship. Next, this one is from CMU. Next. Next, yeah, some examples from universities, yeah, in Southeast Asia and also from India. This is the boss of TRU, yeah, Ms. Kanya. Next. Okay, this is from Mara, yeah, UITM. Next. Ya, lanjut. Terus, 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 terus. Terima kasih. Thank you. Ya, oke. Once again, once again.
Okay, once again, thank you. Give a big applause. Okay, thank you, Mr. Sil. So, terus mean next. terus mean next. Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Sylvester, for the insight presentation related to the partnership at UST. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to open for the next session. That's the question and answer. If there is questions from the audience in this room, would you please raise your hand? Please. Oke. Tadi Bapak yang di sebelah sana is that Pak Dekan ya? Or is that? Is there any questions from this room? Okay, Dr. Nguyen, please.
So, hello everyone. Thank you very much for your presentation today. And now I would like to have two questions for Professor Maria from the Philippines. Thank you very much for your speech, and I am really interested in your presentation today in your research. So research is about how to give feedback to students, right? So my question is, based on your research findings, do you have any suggestions for teachers when they give feedbacks for their students? Yeah, do you have any suggestions? And the second question is, and now my second question is, so what are the main contributions in your research in comparison with the relevant literature?
All right.
Thank you very much.
This is on. The first question, what are, from my findings, what could be possible suggestions? I think that students, although studies have shown that their performance would increase quite tremendously with explicit corrective feedback, they still prefer implicit corrective feedback. But the thing is, it's not always the case that they give right answers. So from my study and from my own experience, I've been teaching for 41 years. From my own experience, I would correct, yes, because it's our duty to correct, but find ways, whether verbally or non-verbally, to soften. One way to soften would be to affix some kind of encouraging words before you give your criticism. So, for example, you can say, oh, you got an interesting point, but this is how we should look at the problem. Or, like what I do, I would ask a series of questions, and the student would know that there is something wrong with the answer. And as a student is able to answer my series of questions, she or he is led to the correct answer. And then I'd say, that's perfect, you made it. I think they need a lot of motivation. And with a crash and effective filter, we should always keep the motivation high so that we don't lose our students. They don't feel embarrassed, and they would become more participatory in our classes. Okay, what contribution can my study, what would be my contribution to the literature? I think that study is culture specific. It is specific to the Filipino culture, and as I've mentioned earlier, this could be replicated in cultures where the communication style is also indirect, and this is very Asian. And if you would like to join me, because this is the study that I have here is partial. I still have 1 semester to go before I come up with a real conclusion, because I have 3 more classes to analyze. But I think if we could collaborate, then we can definitely establish that implicitness is something not unique to the Filipino culture, but to some other ASEAN or even Asian cultures. And we can find ways how to address different students, different kinds of students, and adopt different teaching strategies in the process. I hope I was able to answer your question. Thank you so much for your interest. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So that's interesting because that's the background is the Asia, right? I'm curious, how's about the background of non-Asia? Maybe I want to know a little bit of the experience from Dr. Janzin related to the feedback, whether this is implicit and explicit related to the feedback with the background of Australia. Do you want to discuss that?
Feedback, corrective feedback. We all do that, but there are different ways of doing that, and also it depends a great deal on the class atmosphere. If you create a very relaxed and generally quite happy atmosphere in the classroom, it really doesn't matter whether you provide a negative or positive corrective feedbacks. Students will accept it. And many of my students prefer explicit feedback because they don't have to think, not everybody can figure out this is a corrective feedback, So if the classroom atmosphere is not good and people are stressed and they're sad or they're unhappy, etc., nothing will go in, right? Nothing will go inside. So your feedback probably won't be received, say, positively. Another point I would like to make about corrective feedback is this. This is based on a very nice research carried out by Bruno Di Biase, supported by Australian Research Council. Corrective feedback is only effective if it is delivered at the point where the students are able to absorb the feedback, okay? If the feedback is given way above their current linguistic or second language proficiency level, nothing happens. It's a waste. For example, first year students, right, they are not able to say very much in the second language. And then you're teaching, just hypothetically, you're teaching relative clause, for example. And then students, of course, they couldn't do it, and they make mistakes, and then you give feedback. But they are not at that level to make use of your feedback. So language learning is going by stages, as Iba well know. And if you give feedback way above their ability or second language ability, they are not going to learn from it, from the feedback. So regardless of whether the feedback is positive or negative, they won't be able to make use of it. Okay, the research by DiBiase supported that. So at least in my class, if second year, third year, some students can say a lot, some students cannot say a lot, but they're trying. If you know students' level, and you know this student is quite low in the proficiency, you don't give feedback where way above their ability, okay? Just let it go, let it go. They always make mistakes, it's part of learning. Basically, I don't particularly mind if students make mistakes, and I don't always give feedbacks, you know. As long as they're willing to talk, to participate, I always say great, great, great. Over time, as their proficiency improves, many of the mistakes will disappear. Whether you give feedback or not, they will disappear over time. So we generally take a very relaxed position with regard to classroom feedback, corrective feedback, as well as assessments. In the assessments, we do not penalize students for making mistakes. We penalize students for not taking risks, okay? They always produce subject, verb, object, SVO type of very simple sentences, 100% correctly, but not trying to do, make an adventure, and because if you don't try, you never get it, right? But if you try, you will make mistakes. But if you make mistakes, you get penalized, whether positively or negatively, in front of everybody. This is really not good. So one of the criteria in the assessments that I give to students is that you have to produce, you have to say something using the language points, vocabulary, or whatever that we have learned, okay? If in second year, you still produce sentences that we learned in the first year, I don't care whether you don't make mistakes at all. You won't get a full mark. You'll get probably out of 5, you get a 3 or 3.5 at most. Yeah, so there is I suppose there's a balance. You have to, and many considerations. As a teacher, you probably need to take it into consideration. And also, I don't know, I suppose it's a kind of art in a way. In the classroom, how you deliver and how you manage and how you create a positive learning atmosphere.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Yanji. Yes, you may add.
May I also add, because I had a chance to work and discuss corrective feedback with the Rod Ellis of SLA, and he actually categorically mentioned that explicit corrective feedback is the one that really ensures understanding and learning of the student. But the thing is, aside from the pedagogical implications, or we also have to think of the psychological implications of corrective feedback, plus, as my study would show, plus the cultural context of the student. So I agree totally with what Professor Zhang mentioned earlier. So to be a teacher is to be a teacher, a mother, a social worker, a psychologist, all rolled into one. Okay, thank you.
That's very nice. So different background in giving feedback is also essential. In the Philippines, English, for example, English as the second language, right? In Australia, of course, English is the language that they use every day. But now, I just want to know, in Indonesia, Mr. Rasil, because in Indonesia, English as a foreign language. So we cannot make it the same as the second or the native language. Please,
Thank you
ma'am.
very much. Professor Maria, your research is very, very interesting, you know. Then when it comes to how to give feedback to the students, as you told us before, it depends on the students' culture background. Here in Indonesia, even, students come from a variety of culture. You know, if I teach in Yogyakarta, you know, the people in Yogyakarta are very polite. I should give something which is implicit. I want to go to this place, but I need to move here. Brr. But if I teach in my hometown, I should be direct. You are wrong, you are right. Because the culture is different. So I agree with you that when we give feedback, whether we give it explicitly or implicitly, well, it depends on where we are, right? Yeah, maybe in the Philippines, more or less the same, right? Yeah, but here in Yogyakarta, rarely do lecturers or teachers give direct or explicit feedback or correction, yeah, because it will hurt the students.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sil. Exactly. So we talk about mostly about language. Why? Because started from language, actually, ladies and gentlemen. We can't make friend, right? We can make connection not only in one area but also in cross country or cross area. So that's the point actually for this conference, that we build up the connection through language. As we know that English still the prominent language that we use to connect one to another country. Even though Bahasa Indonesia actually is the international language, but not many people learned Bahasa. Maybe one day we can create the international class with the Bahasa Indonesia major program, maybe one day. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, because of the time is quite tight, so that I would like to, no question, I thought I thought he want to ask questions. Okay, thank you so much. Before I close, I would like to invite everybody to provide a big applause for all the presenters. Thank you. Again, thank you very much. And I would like to invite the MC again. Yeah. Okay. Time is yours again. Thank you so much.
So everyone, please give a round of applause for our Partnership International Conference. But before that, let's take a photo for the documentation. Ladies and gentlemen, before we moving to the next event, we will take a short break to enjoy our lunch. So for the on-site presenter and the participants, the lunch will serve at the rest area on the rear. And for the rector, vice rector, overseas guests, your lunch will serve at the VIP rooms. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we will take a short break to enjoy our lunch. And for the on-site presenter and participants, the lunch will serve at the rest area on the rear. And for the rector, vice rector, overseas guests, your lunch will serve at the VIP rooms. And attention to all participants, after lunch, please to return to this place because there are still many series of events that await for us. So ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your time.